Good morning, everybody, and welcome to CryptoTrader's Room. And of course, majority of you know that CryptoTrader's Room is a place where we eat, drink, sleep, dream, trade, and invest in digital currencies. Sean, welcome. Good morning, bud. Hope all's well. And if you're new to this live stream, welcome. And don't forget to click on that subscribe button as well as the post notification so that you're notified every time that a video is uploaded or I do a kind of a spur of the moment type of live stream. And don't forget to stay connected with us on Steemit, Twitter, as well as Facebook. We are streaming this simultaneously on Steemit. So if you're watching this on Steemit, definitely welcome to the live stream. Brandon, Oscar, good morning, guys. Hope all's well. But yeah, what is going on today? Of course, the title, it's time to accumulate, not time to sell. So if you're selling, there's a possibility you could be selling at the bottom. But this is a perfect opportunity to actually, start getting your feet wet and, get a couple little positions here and there. This isn't the time to go all in, definitely not. But this is the time to kind of, start accumulating in little increments. And that's kind of what I've done this morning. I haven't bought too much, but I did buy a little higher than I wanted to because I had the limit buy order in, and I really didn't monitor the chart this morning when I was kind of getting my kids ready. So I did have an execution of $44. It was only 25 that I purchased. So, I'm only going to be purchasing really in increments of 25 as the price drops. So I do have another 25 LTC entry for $41, another 25 for $40. We'll see if it gets there. And then basically kind of, the rest of the money that I have left, 75 LTCs at 36.76, which I doubt it'll get to that level. But, we'll see what it does when it actually breaks 41.10, I think was kind of the low that it had actually set. So let me get a different chart up here for LTC. And we'll probably got to look at the 1 hour chart. Breck, hello, welcome. Let's see, Oscar saying, keep accumulating, trading, not time to buy or sell. Yeah, I mean, this is the time to accumulate really, in little increments to see what it does. Like I said, it's not the time to kind of go all in. If this was, if LTC was in the, under $40, 37.50, I would probably throw everything that I have at 37.50, but not right now, considering, we're still in a bear territory. We're still downtrending, even though we're getting these nice little upticks here and there, for traders to be able to take advantage of it. For long-term holders, this is not the opportunity to kind of say, you know what, I'm going to buy it here and hold it long-term. It's time for you to kind of accumulate and lower your cost average as it starts to dip. And that's kind of what I'm doing. So if it dips to $40 or $41, I'll purchase another 25, and that'll basically kind of lower my average to 42.50 from my 44 purchase, because I'll have a 25 at 44 and then another 25 at 41. It's a difference of $3 divided by 2 is $1.50 added on to the bottom price of $41. So it'll kind of bring my average down to 42.50. And that's kind of what I'm looking to do, is just to try to capitalize on the downfall. And because it's hard to pick the bottom. Nobody can determine what that bottom is to say, you know what, I'm going to go all in because this is the bottom, because it might not be the bottom. So if I would have gone all in at $44, I mean, price is 41.71 now. So I would be down. I would be in a hole. So, it's not the right strategy for me to play in this bear territory, bear market. Now, if it were in the bull market, yeah, that's a whole different story. But, we're still in that bear phase. Danielle, welcome. PK, crypto never sleeps. Yeah, dude, you're absolutely right about that. Crypto never sleeps at all. Still holding 200 LTC from 27. Dude, more power to you. That's an awesome entry. I would have definitely been locking in profits, though. When this thing broke out above 50, I would have been looking to sell at least, a 10% of the position in increments of 20. And that's kind of what I did a while back. And I'll show you my entry in it as well, too. So let me get rid of that chart there. But a while back, when I actually purchased, I think it was 103 from Bitfinex, I started selling them in increments of 20. So I basically sold, let's see, 20 at $43.50, another 22.26 at 45, and then I kind of sold the rest, the 60 that was left over from the 103 at $47. So, I was taking profits as it was kind of going up. Yeah, no one knew that it was going to go up to $57. I had no clue, or, I mean, that's a $10 difference there from the $47 exit that I had. So it's always beneficial to kind of just start, taking positions or taking profits as it's going up. And then you have the capital, you have the profit to be able to buy it back in cheaper. But yeah, still a hold, from $27. Crypto never sleeps. That's not bad at all. That's a pretty good entry. NTRN, I have not researched NTRN, but I'll put that on my list. So later on, I can take a look at that. Oni, buddy, what's up? It's great to see you on here, man. And I got to thank you and also Rocky Mountain. You guys are very active on our Slack chat, and I definitely enjoy conversing with you guys on that chat. So, out of everybody there, I mean, you two are really the only ones that I've really had a really good conversation with. So, thank you for being active on this live stream. Thank you for being active on the Slack chat. It's great to have you. So, thank you so much. How's the new pad? Dude, the new pad is great, man. I'll have to take a picture of my office and load it up on a Slack chat. It's definitely a huge upgrade, from what I was used to. Kind of being in the living room on a small desk with basically 3 monitors and a laptop. I mean, everything was just kind of crammed in. And I've upgraded a little bit. I've gotten a bigger desk and I've added another monitor. So I'm basically using 4 monitors and a laptop, and still have room for another monitor if I wanted to add that later on to the desk. So, but yeah, the new pad is great. I'm situated in the basement. It's nice and quiet when the kids aren't down here. So you guys will probably not hear the kids as much. Occasionally here and there, you'll probably hear them. But yeah, the new pad is great, man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, PK, you know what? It's still 2 weeks left, exactly. And when I say this is a time to accumulate and not the time to sell, and I'm not talking about BTC, and I should have probably clarified that. With BTC, there's still a lot of uncertainties that are going on, and really, I just don't trust it right now at this current moment to be able to buy it and hold. Maybe to buy it and sell it, before this crazy debacle of user activated soft fork happens, and then in October, November, we got the possible hard fork. I mean, there's just so many things that are going on with BTC at the current moment that I don't believe in buying and holding it right now. To be honest with you, I don't want to have to deal with that debacle of what might happen. I would rather kind of get into it after everything kind of stabilizes, and we kind of see the direction that the developers and everybody else that's involved, what direction they want to take. But yeah, 41.50 currently right now, so we'll see if she hits that $41 for another entry of 25. And really, guys, to be honest with you, I'm not looking to keep these. I'm not looking to sell them on GDAX at all. I'm looking to basically arbitrage them, and I'm going to try to arbitrage them. If I have to sell at a little bit of a loss, I will do that because I want to use those funds for something else on Bittrex. If I'm sorry, on Bitfinex. So if Bitfinex is a little higher, when I do the arbitrage, that's great. I'm going to be looking to sell it, even if it's 50-cent profit, $1 profit per coin. I'm not looking to hold LTC at the current moment. I'm looking to actually put that money into use into something else. And really, there's something else that I'm looking at, and if the price is correct, it might be Ripple. I'm not sure about Ripple, but they did list a couple other currencies on Bitfinex, and IOTA, EOS, as well as where is it? SAN. So those are probably the 3 cryptocurrencies that I'm going to be allocating, $4,000 or $3,000, whatever it might be, into those cryptocurrencies and kind of see, what they do on a longer but shorter time frame. So I will not be day trading those. I will be, holding them for maybe a week and a half, maybe possibly 2 weeks, no more than a month. When that 30-day hits, I'm going to be cashing out. Either at a profit or a minimal loss, or I will be reducing my position if it continues to drop. But I think in the 15-cent entry, for Ripple, for SAN, for IOTA, I think those are going to be great positions to kind of hold long term and see kind of what they do. They're pretty cheap, and they're going to be pumped eventually, and that time will happen. And you can easily see a 5 to 10x return if you're willing to be patient and not continuously look at the chart and panic. So that's kind of the game plan. We'll see what happens. As long as I can get a good amount of entry on LTC for me to be able to move the money or the funds over and be able to utilize that for other things. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get another entry at 41 and then another entry at 40, and then I'll be satisfied with 75 LTCs. All right, let me take a look at some of these comments. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. I do appreciate it. And like I said, if you're new to this, welcome. It's great to have you here. And if you haven't done so, please click on that subscribe button as well as the post notification. And if you do find this information helpful, please feel free to share this, tweet this out to anybody, click on that like button. And if there's something you don't like about this video or something that you want me to cover, leave it in the comment section. I'd be happy to cover something on the next video that I do. So crypto never sleeps. That's awesome. Yeah, as long as you're taking profits on the way up, that's the best thing to do. Now, unless you're looking at holding long term, and if your long term outlook is 6 to 12 months, then to be honest with you, I wouldn't even look at the chart because it'll drive you crazy. If you're a long-term holder, I seriously advise to not look at this chart on a day-to-day basis. I wouldn't even be looking at candlesticks. I'd just be looking at like a mountain chart to kind of see the trend of how it's doing. But these candlesticks, looking at them on a smaller time frame will cause you to panic because you will see the dip on a smaller time frame. On a larger time frame, you're not going to see that big of a dip. You're going to see a nice, incline to the upside, and that's kind of what we're looking at right now on the one-day candlestick chart on GDAX. You're seeing a nice little uptick, well, not little uptick, but a nice little trend to the upside, and we can see that our smaller moving average in the orange is still above our bigger moving average. But if you look at this on a smaller time frame, it's going to cause you to panic. It's going to cause you to sell when your outlook is really long term. So come up with a game plan and stick to that game plan. That's the best thing to do. Rocky Mountain, welcome, buddy. I just gave you and Oni a little prop for being active on this live stream as well as on the Slack chat. I told Oni that you two are the only ones really I have a meaningful conversation with every time I'm on. Nobody else wants to chat, so if you're part of our live stream and you see me on there, definitely say what's up. Chat away. That's the best thing to do. Oni, man, not a problem, buddy. Not a problem, man. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. I mean, day in, day out, dude. You're on that Slack. You're on this live stream, so it's great to have you. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Oh, too funny, too funny. Hard fork or soft fork? I mean, both of them are going to happen. Possibly, especially with the soft fork, user activated soft fork by August 1st. It all depends, I guess, if they get segregated witness activated prior to that. But then in October, you still have a lot of uncertainties, or October, November, somewhere in that time range, the uncertainties of a possible hard fork. So, we'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. But what is LTC doing currently right now at the moment? Let me get rid of this. Let me put a different chart up here. $41.38. So 41.10 was the level that I had actually drawn out a while back, I think. Let's see, 41.10, 41.28. So this is a level that I had drawn out a while back because it actually had touched that 41, let's see, 41.38 is what it touched before really making a nice little run up to, what is this price point, 46.78. Pulling back a little bit to 42.10, and then having a nice little uptick to 48.03. So those are nice little gains there. So that 41.38 was a key level, and so far it touched it right exactly at 41.38. So we'll see how she reacts to it. So far she's reacting pretty well, where she hasn't crashed below it. She touched at 41.38. Now she's at 42.13, but this is a 1 hour candlestick. It hasn't closed yet. So let's look at a smaller time frame, but. That 41, what was it, 41.10 that it had actually touched. Let's see how far back that was. That's going to be kind of a key level to see if she breaks that 41.10, or it might have been 42.10. I could be mistaken. Yeah, so this is a new low that she's making before, prior to that run up to 57.75. So we'll see exactly, if she's going to start breaking other key levels, and those key levels are going to be, she's already touched that 41.38. That other level is going to be the $39.17, something to that extent. But if she breaks 40, yeah, she's definitely going to hit that level and possibly hit the 37.75 or 37.50-ish. But, we'll see if more selling intensifies on this to kind of bring the price down. But, it'd be nice if she touched 41. I can just have a little bit of an entry. And then I think, with 50 LTCs, I would try to arbitrage those right over and see if I could sell them at a little bit of a profit or just kind of a break even, just so I can put that money to use elsewhere. Ripple's pretty stagnant. Yeah, Ripple's been stagnant. We'll take a look at Ripple, and it's just not Ripple that's been kind of stagnant. I don't think Ripple's touched that 11-cent range yet. Oh, some say BTC can break up into 4. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. I have not heard that yet, but yeah, I mean, if that is true, then yeah, there's a lot more uncertainties that are going to be happening with BTC, and I think a lot of people are just going to be kind of fearful to hold BTC or even trade BTC, at least prior to or after uh, July 31st. Let's see, 14.8 cents. Basically, 14.8 is what it got down to uh, with Ripple before making a nice run up to 19.49. So I mean that's not a bad little gain there, but we're still in a bear market, so this thing is still going to trend downwards with a nice little uptick. And if you can capitalize off these little gains, not hold it for too long, because this is really within a matter of, let's see what time frame this is. July 11th at 3 to July 12th at 21. So almost a day and a half, basically, worth of price action that, significant gains from, 15 to 19, 4 cents, especially with a very sizable position. Those could be significant gains there if you're day trading it, not holding it long term. Yeah, same thing with IOTA. IOTA is also slow. SAN is also slow. I mean, SAN was just listed recently, but we'll take a look at that and see exactly what it got up to, as well as EOS. I mean, EOS, made that high almost up to 550, and it's breaking down to 155, 130 something was the low that it hit, or 128 was the low that it hit after making that nice run up to 550-ish or 549-ish. I mean, it got close to that 550 level. PK, what do you use to see all the price on all the exchanges at once for arbitrage? Yeah, it's kind of tough, but I do like CryptoWatch. I mean, you're not going to look at everything. They are adding some on a monthly or daily basis, and I've seen, recently that they've added GNO, EOS. Let's see what else they added. There's another one on here. Those might have been the only two that they added. But yeah, that's really the only place that I know that you can look at, majority of the crypto, well, I shouldn't say majority, a handful of the cryptocurrencies, especially the most popular ones on the exchange. And basically like for Ethereum as well too. I mean, you can see, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 different exchanges, and you can see the price in USD or Euro, whatever it is that they offer it in. But yeah, I like CryptoWatch. I don't think there's anything out there yet that will allow you to see basically all of the cryptocurrencies. I mean, there's 850 of them. So you kind of have to switch back and forth from the different exchanges and kind of look at their, what they have listed. But yeah, it's tough to have a one and all type of website that will list everything. And if you guys know of one, please let me know. I would definitely like to research it. Yeah, I mean, Lucas, it's just not IOTA that has very slow, price action. It's really, I mean, wintertime, it's volume is low, volatility is low, so you're not going to have the massive moves that we've seen, from January on. But yeah, wintertime, it's just, I'm sorry, summertime, it's going to be very slow. A lot of traders are on vacation, not as many are trading. So, but yeah, once October, November, December starts to, gets up here, then yeah, we're going to see possibly some good movements. But until then, I mean, this could be the bear market until the winter starts. But SAN, let's see, SAN, what has it been doing? 61 cents when it was first listed, a low of 30 cents, came down right to 22 cents, a little over 22 cents. And then, yeah, I mean, it's just been grinding downwards. I mean, this is a 1-hour chart that we're looking at. So this hasn't really hit the bottom yet, at least nothing that is indicating that, this is the time for it to turn around. But I'm looking possibly for that 10 cents, 15 cents, if I'm able to move some of the coins over to Bitfinex and be able to take advantage of, if and when SAN and IOTA, as well possibly Ripple, if they get down to that 15 cents that I'm looking for. 10 cents would be great, but I doubt 10 cents will hit. But I'd be happy with a 15-cent entry. Oni, that's my type of guy, man. Just black coffee and candlesticks. That's all I've had today, man. I haven't eaten anything. I don't eat breakfast too often. Usually lunchtime is when I start gorging and binge eating. But yeah, in the morning, coffee kind of suppresses my appetite. But yeah, coffee and candlesticks, man. It's a breakfast of champion. Breck, we'll have to take a look at that. I know ECS, he's not on here, and Dylan Thompson, they handle, the signups that come through. Um, unless your email was wrong. We've had a couple people where they signed up and they've emailed me and said, hey, I signed up, I never received anything. And that's because their email address was just wrong. But yeah, I'm going to write down your name. As long as, you use your name that you're using on YouTube, I'll ask ECS or Dylan Thompson about it. I don't think they're on this live stream now for me to ask them. BTC next price of 1,800. Dude, anything's possible with BTC. I mean, it could be 1,200 to be honest with you, 1,250. With a lot of this uncertainty that's happening, and we'll take a look at BTC as well too, because she is hitting a new low basically, not an all-time new low, but a new low from the nice run up that it had. But we'll take a look at that. But yeah, 1,800 is definitely possible. I mean, BTC has proven to us that she can drop 800 bucks, 900 bucks. She can drop 1,000 easily, and 1,000 from this current price point right now will put it right at 1,270. I mean, easily. I mean, even if she drops, 800 bucks, that's 1,470, 1,500. So 1,800 is definitely feasible, possible. Even lower than that is definitely a possibility with all this craziness that's happening. And that's really what's holding everything down. It's, Bitcoin, not really having a nice movement with a lot of this uncertainty. It's keeping all the other cryptocurrencies down. Skylar, what's a Slack channel? The Slack channel is it's basically a chat room for traders to kind of hang out and converse, and it's there. I mean, there's traders from all over the world, or at least people interested in cryptocurrency, and to continue the conversation of cryptocurrency after this live stream ends. It's a great hangout spot. And you can get to that by, on the bottom of this video where it says stay connected, there is a link to our website, or you can just go to CryptoTradersRoom.com, fill out the brief questionnaire, and then submit that. And then Dylan or ECS normally will take a look at that and send invites out. Now, they might not send invites out to everybody. So if you don't answer those questions in a correct way, or you just kind of make up a fictitious name or a fictitious, email address, then, more than likely they're not going to send you that invite. So answer those truthfully, to be honest with you. ETC, yes, I will definitely take a look at ETC, and I'm going to put it on my list. And just to let you guys know that this live stream is not lagging at all, I'm just kind of very slow at getting to the comments. So I'm going to try to fly through the comments real quick, and then we'll take a look at ETC. LTC is definitely the future. Yeah, at this current moment, I think it is. With a lot of the uncertainties, I think a lot of people are going to end up piling into LTC or possibly ETC. That's kind of my speculation. We'll see if it comes true as people are kind of, dwindling their positions or selling it, whatever they have in BTC. I mean, they got to put it somewhere. So, either they're going to be in fiat or they're going to be in, some of the other popular cryptocurrencies. You trade BTC with margin. Yeah, just be careful, man. I got hosed with margin. You guys know about that, so be careful with margin. Am I on Chaincoin? No, I am not on Chaincoin at all. And you guys know I don't really trade a lot of the altcoins. I don't know if I trust them, to be honest with you. I really don't. I would rather stick to something I'm comfortable with, something I know the trend inside out, upside down, and I don't even have to look at the chart to kind of know the trend. I just got to look at the price. And if I look at a cryptocurrency day in, day out, I can kind of follow the trend with my eyes closed just by knowing what the price is on either, on a 15-minute, half-hour candlestick. So, it's hard for me to kind of follow every cryptocurrency that's out there. I mean, there's 850 of them. So, Chaincoin I have not followed yet. I think I looked at it the other day, though, and it was up pretty high. Yeah, there are some great opportunities for arbitrage, especially if you have the exchange that has a huge price difference. I mean, 233 to 257, that's a big difference. And if you're able to get those funds, or those coins over to that other exchange in a timely manner, yes, it's a great opportunity. But that's just kind of the risk that you take. And I've had issues with arbitrage before, where it took, Litecoin took 4.5 hours to go from GDAX to BIFNIX, or vice versa, and Coinbase would indicate, yes, you received 100 LTCs, but they would take 15 minutes to release it, and within that 15 minutes, the price has completely changed to the downside. Yeah, plenty of ways to make a profit. You're absolutely right, man. There are plenty of ways, but you gotta be patient sometimes with it, and not get too excited. Sometimes you gotta walk away from your computer. And I've done that plenty of times. But yeah, there are great opportunity ways to make money, a little 5–10% gain. And if you continuously do that, you're going to see that account really build up to something bigger. As long as you're not, trying to swing for a home run every trade that you're on. Dash LTC and ETC, yeah, I could agree with you more, to be honest with you, especially with LTC and ETC. I definitely agree with you on that. All right, a couple more comments, and then we'll take a look at ETC. No shame in those coins at all, and really, there's no shame in any of the coins that are on Poloniex or Bittrex. To be honest with you, you just got to be very selective and trade the ones that the ones that you're confident about, because a lot of them are set up for pump and dumps. To be honest with you, a lot of them are scams, a lot of them are garbage. But if you can catch those garbage at the right time, there's a lot of money to be made because they are going to be pumped. There are hundreds of chat rooms out there that are continuously pumping stuff on, Bittrex or Poloniex or any of these other exchanges that are out there. Your buddy bought $190 worth of at 30 cents. I'm not sure on which one. Was that IOTA? Yeah, if it's, even if it's Ripple, IOTA, he's down a little bit, or she. I'm not sure what that was on the 190. He's up 3K. No, look, it's all pump and dumps. Anything that's going from 30 cents, to $4 and then crashing right back down. They're just being pumped. They're being manipulated. And if you guys really, if you're seeing something that has gone up so high, so fast, you're too late to the game. You're too late to get into it, to be honest with you. And there's no sense of risking your money to get into something that's already run up so high. You're just asking to lose some of it. Yeah, it could go up a little bit, but more than likely, it's going to come crashing down. And if there's really no news to back up the movement, then yeah, it's plain and simple. It's a pump and dump. And that news, there could be news, but it could be fake news that's put out there. Yeah, Breck, we'll take a look at it. Dylan, welcome, buddy. And I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling down to the message now. But yeah, Dylan, if you get a chance, Breck Burgess, BRECK BURGESS, said he filled out the survey, but hasn't heard anything back. So I don't know if something was wrong with the email or whatever it might be. But if you have a chance, please take a look at that. Same name as in YouTube? Okay, that's perfect. ECS, welcome, buddy. Yeah, Skylar, you're correct, man. You have to be willing to hold, especially if you didn't take profits at the top, or you didn't take profit when it started coming down a little bit, and you're still holding. Yeah, it's not the time to sell. It's the time to add and lower that cost average. That's the best advice I would have, because more than likely, when people end up selling, they end up selling at the bottom, before it makes a nice little uptick back up. Oni, have fun, man. Thank you for joining. But yeah, you made a mobile crypto station. That's pretty sweet, man. Especially if you got a, Wi-Fi or a range extender for Wi-Fi or even an air card to be able to trade out in the woods. That's perfect. Logan, welcome, buddy. Hope all is well. And yes, like Logan stated, if you do find this information helpful, don't forget to click on that like button. But yeah, we got 42 people watching, 41 people watching. So thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. It's great to have you here. And if you're new, don't be shy. Say what's up. And don't forget to click on that subscribe button, as well as the post notification. And stay connected with us on Steemit, Twitter, as well as Facebook. Especially if you have a Steemit account, we are simultaneously live streaming this on Steemit as well too. Yobit. Yobit is another exchange that basically it's used for pump and dumps. I've seen it. I've seen it many times. So it's hard for me to kind of have trust in a lot of these exchanges. And I would probably use some of these exchanges, but I wouldn't trade some of the lesser known coins. I would probably trade still the most popular coins that are out there. But yeah, Yobit is a place where you go to pump and dump something. Yeah, there's a lot of manipulation everywhere. It's just not in the stock market. Stock market is heavily manipulated, but yeah, that manipulation is also happening in the cryptocurrency market. And it's just something that you kind of have to adapt with, you kind of have to deal with, you kind of have to look out for, and not be trapped in these, mini little pump and dumps, because they don't last long at all, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes if you're lucky, which would give you a little bit of time to kind of get out if you had an entry. Skylar, I so, and I've said this before, I'm not a fan of, pumping and dumping anything at all. I'm not here to mislead anybody. I have not told anybody to buy a specific cryptocurrency once. You guys see what I buy and you guys see what I sell, but yeah, and for me to start CryptoTrader's Room, it was a way for to kind of get like-minded people, like-minded traders to be able to share information that's out there so that we're not caught in these pump and dumps. And, for everybody to kind of pull their resources together and find a great setup, because really, there's tons of setups out there and you can't look for them all the time. So if you have somebody that's looking for a cup and handle or for a, just so many different types of I'm losing my train of thought now. Of indicators, of signals, that would indicate, this is a great opportunity to buy. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Not somebody that's, here to pump and dump something. That's not my goal at all. And I don't want to mislead anybody into losing money. And that's what a lot of pump and dumps are basically doing. They're buying in and then they're pumping it to as many people as they can. I've gotten so many invitations to join a pump and dump group. It's like, well, why? I'm giving you my money then. That's basically what I'm doing. You're going to notify me after you've already bought. To help increase that price, and that's not the game that I want to play. I'm not trading on HIT BTC, if that is even an exchange. Never heard of it. All right, so let's go ahead and get to ETC, but let's briefly take a look at Litecoin. 42.21. So for my entry at 44, it's still down, but I'm not really looking to sell that on this exchange. I'm looking to really get rid of it on Bitfinex, and on Bitfinex currently right now, the price is going to be low. 41.97 is the price. So that's a significant drop for me to kind of move that over from 44 bucks and sell it for 42 bucks or whatever it might be. Even though it's only 25, it's still $50 loss. But yeah, I'm looking to either, get rid of it at 44 bucks or maybe a little over 44 bucks, just so I have those funds available. But let's go ahead and take a look at ETC, because ETC really had a nice run. So let's see if the chart pulls up. 1660 is currently the price that we're looking at, but she did get to a low of like 12 and change. 1228. Let's see, 1233. It looks like, so it broke under 1250. If this thing breaks under 10, I mean, for me, that's a great buying opportunity. I would definitely throw whatever I have at it at 10 bucks or under 10 bucks. But yeah, to go from 1233, let me go ahead and enlarge this. 1233 all the way up to 1950. It looks like a little shy under 1950. Well, actually, 1950 exactly to the T is what it hit. So I mean, from 1250 to 1950, 7 bucks. That's pretty significant, very significant. Over 50%, and that's within a very short period of time that it's done this. But also, it's happening at 3 p.m. or I'm sorry, 3 a.m. So that's usually when everybody's sleeping. I know ECS, I've had a conversation with him, and he's, completely switched up his sleeping schedule to kind of coincide with what's happening. And I said, man, if you're up around that time, I'm like, you're definitely seeing these drops that are happening. I'm not seeing these drops because I'm usually sleeping. Unless you have a low ball offer in, at 2:30, 3:30, I mean, they're hitting new lows. And then once the day kind of gets started in the East Coast of the U.S., then they're getting a nice little run up to the upside. But yeah, if you're not awake, it's hard to catch these. And if you don't have a low ball buy offer in, you're not going to have that position. By the time you wake up, it's already, gained, 20, 30%. But let's see how this thing is going to react. So, and these are support and resistance that I've had drawn out from, I can't even remember how long ago, a while back. But it looks like, a couple times really, before she actually, came down to that 1233, she did get above this first area of resistance, and that was 1650-ish. She got above it a little bit, crashed down, got above it a little bit, crashed down. That indicates to me there was just a lot of selling that intensified right around in the 1650 range to 1675 range, and of course, buying wasn't there to kind of support it. Crashed to 1233, and then when she broke out, that would have still been a resistance for it. And I would have, if I had a position, I would have probably sold a little bit. I wouldn't have sold a lot, but I would have said, okay, you know what? Twice she kind of got rejected from that 1650, 1675-ish. What are the chances of it happening a third time? It's very likely. And she did break out a little bit. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. She broke out right to 1715, came right back down to 1675. I'm sorry, 1614. So, didn't intensify. It didn't go up as high on that initial candlestick. But, when she did pull back down, people supported it and brought it right up. So, I would have probably sold a little bit to kind of, lock in some of the profits if I got in at 1250 because due to the prior resistance of that 1650, 1675 that she's proven to me, twice that she's going to hit it, but she's going to pull right back down. And she did hit it, pulled back down a little bit, but then came right back up with a vengeance. And now, of course, she's downtrending. So let's see if she is right at 1650. Right at 1660. So we'll see how she reacts to the prior resistance being a current support. And she's proven to me one more time here that yes, you know what, she made it up to 1950, but came back down and found that really support at the 1622, 1650-ish, give or take, and then came right back up where she didn't completely break through it and continue to downtrend. She hovered above it, went up to 1790. So from 1620 to 1790. So right now, I think she's just going to lightly trend on that 1650-ish, 1670. But if selling intensifies, then she could definitely come crashing back down below it. But right now, she's being held up pretty well at that 1650 range. And we'll see as the day goes on to see if she's going to make it back up to that resistance of 1950 and then pull back down to the support of 1650. That's a possibility. She could easily channel that for a couple of days until people decide to pull money out of BTC, and if they end up putting it into LTC or even ETC, then we could have a nice run up to above 20. That's a possibility. But this is very strong, in comparison to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies that have, Ethereum, BTC, that have really taken a major dive. Even Dash, I wouldn't say Dash has taken a major dive, but Zcash, going from 300 to almost, what is it now, like 175, 166, 174, from being over 300, 320, I think it was at 340. So, in comparison to, what BTC, Ethereum, and Zcash have done, this is holding up pretty well. So ETC and LTC are holding up pretty well. Yes, they are dipping, but they're not having that major downtrend, continuously downtrending with a nice little uptick. So this is proving to me that this is pretty solid currently, right now, until something changes later on down the road. But still not looking for an entry on this. I am looking to possibly take a longer term position in SAN, IOTA, and possibly EOS, if EOS drops to $1 or so. All right, let me see how many comments I missed. I'm probably not going to be able to get to all the comments. There's just a good amount of them, but I'll do my best to. Rocker from San Antonio, welcome, buddy. Yes, it's great to know where people are from, and this is the first time I'm seeing your name, so definitely welcome to the live stream. And if you haven't done so already, please click on that subscribe button as well as the post notification, and follow us on Steam, at Twitter, as well as Facebook. And that really goes for anybody that's new to this live stream. Sitting on 200 LTCs, that's good, man. That is good. I'm not sure what your entry was, but that's that's a good amount to accumulate, good amount to have. My really end goal is, if I have the funds for it, is to really have 1,000 LTCs, 1,000 of ETC. It's kind of the goal for me, to try to stack up at a very cheap price. But that price hasn't hit that level yet that I'm looking for. So in Yobit, you can add any coin. That's a little scary. That's scary. So I can just create a coin, add it on, and start pumping it. Yeah, it's just scary. And the scam coins can make money, but more than likely, a lot of people lose money. If you get into the right coin that's going to be possibly pumped, and you're willing to hold it, but then you just got to pay attention to when it's pumped, because that pump doesn't last long. There's definitely money to be made, but majority of the people lose money in scam coins. It's only really a handful that make money on it, and those are mainly the promoters or the admin of that pump and dump group. Ryan, I don't know what a lot of people are going to be doing. My speculation is that people are probably going to be selling BTC, or move it to an exchange that's going to possibly support the user activated soft fork. But yeah, I can see a lot of people just saying, you know what, I'm just going to cash out. I can't even get a hardware wallet because they're all sold out. I don't want to keep it on an exchange and take the risk. I can see people selling, to be honest with you. If I had BTC and I couldn't get, I don't trust exchanges to be able to handle, the user activated soft fork, and I couldn't get a hardware wallet, what am I going to do? I'm going to get out and go to USD, or I'm going to get out and put it into a different cryptocurrency that's not going to be heavily affected by what's happening with BTC. Chill. Yeah, dude. By the way, welcome to the live stream. That's a great comment. Join the pump and dump group to see how they work. It's a bit of a trick, as they probably do go in early and raise the price, then announce. Yeah, it's definitely not probably. They definitely do go in early. So my speculation, the way it works is basically, you got a handful of people that are the admins of it. They're going to basically get tons of members to come in. They're going to pay promoters to promote, their pump and dump group and ask them to join. And then they'll say, you know what, this day, this time, we're going to announce, which coin we're going to pump at what time on what exchange. Prior to that, they're already purchasing the coins. They're already purchasing them maybe 5 to 10 days prior to that, and really stacking up those coins as much as I can. But they're only going to be purchasing in little increments because they don't want to draw up a red flag to say, "Oh, what somebody is accumulating," because somebody's looking to pump and dump this. So they'll try to keep the volume average, what it's been in the past, and not try to increase that volume at all, because that would throw a red flag if volume all of a sudden goes from I'm just making up a number, 100,000 coins that are being traded to 200,000. That's 100% increase. So if it's going to increase, they might increase it maybe by 10%, on a daily basis, to not really draw that alarm that this is possibly going to be pumped. So basically, once they've accumulated everything that they would want to accumulate, they're telling their members to buy up as many coins as possible, at any possible price, and if the sheeps kind of fall for it and they go in and start buying that cryptocurrency at the time that they say that they're going to release it, and you got tons of people that are doing that exact same thing, that's going to cause the price to go up. But within a second of them releasing, what coin it is that they're pumping on what exchange, they're starting to sell. They're selling initially while, their members are actually buying. So, that's kind of the way pump and dump groups work. And, the admins can make a lot of money. They could easily make, 10 times the amount on every pump, as everybody else was losing money. Yeah, in under a minute, dude. Yeah, more like, under 30 seconds. That's what I mean. If you got in before they actually, announced, what coin they're pumping, and you were able to take advantage of, when they were, stacking up the coins on a daily basis, and then you really watched out, for what coin they were pumping, and it happens to be the coin that you were in, then yeah, you could start selling and making money. But initially, when they start pumping it, it's too late to get in, to be honest with you. Don't even buy it. Surefire way to lose money. Yeah, dude. And a lot of traders lose money. And that's a scary thing too. There are new traders that are coming on, seeing these coins, going up, 300, 400, even 500%. And they're like, oh man, I can make that money too, because I'm seeing these on a daily basis. These are going up, but the thing is, though, they don't know how to get out right away, instantly, and lock in those profits. They're expecting something more, something that's not going to really happen, a price point that it's not going to get to at all. So they end up losing the money. And what's going to happen? More than likely, they're not going to come back to this cryptocurrency market. It's like, you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Why would I even put money into this cryptocurrency market? And I think that's going to prevent, crypto really from having that mass adoption, is because of these pump and dumps that are happening, that are really preventing people from coming back to this market, because they've gotten taken advantage of and they've lost money. And, the ones that didn't lose money, yeah, they'll keep coming back and they'll keep pouring more money into it, until they really get taken advantage of, and they lose everything. And that just kind of puts a bad taste in people's mouth. You're holding BTC and weathering the storm. So what are you going to end up doing then? That's really the main question is, if you're holding BTC, what are you doing? And Logan, actually, I should probably be asking you that question, because I know, you're a long-term holder of BTC, from way back in the day. I'm going to say, what, 2012 possibly? And I know you plan on holding long term, but yeah, I didn't know what strategies you had or what plans you had, due to this craziness that's going to be possibly happening. Or you're just going to, I'm assuming you're holding it on your hardware wallet and not holding in, on an exchange. When I just saw LTC $36, Lusa, I was just like, did it drop to $36 and I didn't see it? I was like, whew, okay, it's 42.70, 42.72. Have I talked about Chaincoin and the pump and hodl yet? I think I briefly talked about it yesterday. Chaincoin, let's see, I forget what exchange they're on. I don't think they're on a major exchange. Yeah, really on 2 exchanges. And yeah, on the one exchange, I mean, it's 92%, the volume is controlled. And that's a little scary. If an exchange controls majority of the trading volume, Yeah, it's easy to pump and dump it. Very easy. Oh man, this is crazy. Let's see. I mean, this was at. We'll probably have to take a look at the 7-day chart. So let's see, 91 cents. You know, this right here should have probably been a great indication of a possible pump to happen. I mean, it went from 45 cents, let's just say 50 cents on July 9th. That same day, it gets up to $1.19, so or $1.42. So somebody got greedy and bought more than they should have bought to not have that crazy spike in price. And then, of course, she came right back down. So, I mean, people were basically, I mean, you know, whoever was pumping this was accumulating. And maybe somebody had fat fingers and hit the wrong order, meant to purchase 500, bought 5,000, caused the price to spike from, you know, under 50 cents all the way to $1.38, a dollar, possibly $1.40, and then came right, you know, crashing right back down to 46 cents, 22 cents. And that was on the 9th. So let's see, recently, yeah, this is definitely pumped. But I mean, this is a long-term pump, though. This isn't, you know, a one-day type of pump. Yeah, I would hate to get trapped in this. I would hate for anybody to get trapped in this. I mean, they took the price to 680, dropped it right back down to 430. That's crazy. It's a $2.50 drop within a matter of, looks like 4 hours. Yeah, and I mean, like I said before, I mean, there you can make money off these pump and dumps, but I wouldn't go all in. I would just put a little bit in, maybe 5% to see what it does. And if you end up losing that 5%, it's only 5%. You know, you're not putting in 50% of your capital to see what it does and kind of test it out. I wouldn't put too much in this at all. But yeah, I did read something about Chaincoin with their master nodes. So you know, a lot of people could be holding it and buying it for the master node, but you know, who knows? Can I buy more? I don't know of what, but I mean, you can buy whatever you want. If it's LTC, I am going to buy more, but I'm waiting for a better price drop. I'm waiting for that 41 bucks, and she did get close to it. You know, she got to 41. What is it? This is on a one-day candlestick I'm looking at. So maybe on a shorter time frame. We got to 41.38. You know, so it didn't hit. It was 38 cents short of that $41 price point that I was looking for, and that was just to kind of have a lower cost average of 42.50 instead of 44 bucks. No, ETH is not doing so hot, not at all. I mean, you know, it's definitely being hammered. I mean, it's having a hard time breaking out above the 225. I think it got up to. And I thought, you know, once it hit 225, I was like, all right, let's see if she gets up to 250. If she got up to 250, okay, that's a nice trend. You know, possibly 275, 300 would be in sight. But no, that definitely was not the case at all. But yeah, here's that 228 that it hit. But yeah, after that, really, she broke down and didn't really maintain above the 200. So I mean, yeah, this is a scary time. This is a scary time, you know, to be holding and if you didn't already take profit. And really, I mean, if you haven't already sold, this is not the time to sell. You know, this is the time to kind of add to your position. And I got to scroll up for these messages, and I'm trying to get to these messages as best as I can, but there's just way too many of them. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, great point. You know, the more places that ETC is listed on, especially OKCoin, um, and I mean, imagine what that would do to the price, and imagine what it would do to the price if Gemini decides to carry Litecoin. I mean, right now in Gemini, you're very limited to Bitcoin and Ethereum only. So, you know, some of these big exchanges to be able to list ETC would be great. You know, if Coinbase can list ETC, which I doubt they will, you know, that would be great. So, you know, Coinbase, Gemini listing ETC. I mean, they should. They really should. I mean, Coinbase should even list, not Coinbase, I'm sorry. Gemini should even list Litecoin. You know, I mean, I can't believe that it's taken this long for them to actually, you know, to not even list it. It just doesn't make sense at all. Hill, that's pretty, I like that, man. You had me laughing. Chaincoin and Ant are like two people that come on a night out and order drinks for everyone at the bar and then sneak out the back door and don't pay the bill. Yeah, dude. I don't think those are the only two coins. I think the majority of the coins out there will do this exact same thing. But yeah, that's a pretty good analogy. I mean, you know, they're there to basically take our money. That's what they're there for. You know, I have margin traded, and if you watched, you know, my previous video, I got wrecked on a margin call. I had a great entry, you know, at 250 when Ethereum really started to tank, and it stopped at 225 or 224, and that would have been great if it would have stopped there and gotten back up to 300. But you know, once it hit that 224 and Coinbase or GDAX algorithm screwed up, and you know, with matching orders, because really they skipped a whole order book. You know, they skipped tons of it and got down to that 10 cents and started executing at 10 cents, 11 cents a dollar. And then they started executing a bunch of stuff on the upside that they should have executed first. But yeah, I got caught in that and I was on margin and basically completely got liquidated. But yeah, margin is scary. And I've told people in the past, you know, on this live stream, like, stay away from margin, stay away from margin. You know, I use margin and it was a big risk. And, you know, look what happened. I got hosed. So right now it's just basically, you know, I'm trading the money that I have only, and I'm not really trading trading on margin. And I don't think I will be trading on margin. I forget, somebody asked me, you know, where I trade, and I kind of forgot, you know, who that was. But I do use Coinbase or GDAX. Actually, don't use Coinbase. Use GDAX. You know, Coinbase, you're going to pay commission. You're going to also pay a little premium for purchasing it through them. You know, if you have a Coinbase account, you also have a GDAX account. You know, you just log in to go to gdax.com and use your Coinbase user ID and password, log in, and that's a great way to basically trade. And as long as you're utilizing limit buys and limit sells, you're not going to pay a commission at all. So that's kind of why I like, you know, GDAX, because it's commission free when I'm utilizing the limit buy and the limit sell orders. But I also do use Bitfinex. And then I haven't used it in a while, but Gemini is another account that I have. But I also have an account with Poloniex and Bittrex. So there are, you know, 5 accounts that I do have. But I mainly trade on GDAX and Bitfinex. Yeah, Logan, you know what? I completely forgot about the paper wallet. But yeah, that's probably the best route to take. You know, if you can't get a hardware wallet, is use a paper wallet. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. So Skylar, so the nodes, you only need 1,000 coins to get a node. That's not much at all. The next coin is EOS. Yeah, I would love to get a position in EOS, but I think, you know, in that dollar range is a good entry for me if I can get funds over to Bitfinex, and that's kind of the goal right now. Is to let me see what the price is. 42.29, 42.15. So really, the price is the same. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of arbitrage. and see exactly how long does it take to move the funds over. So we're going to say deposit. Litecoin is what I have. Exchange wallet is right there. And then when you're copying and pasting this, definitely, when you paste it, verify, the last, probably the first two letters as well as the last two letters, just in case you didn't copy and paste it the proper way. But we're going to say withdraw. Hopefully they didn't disable the withdrawal. And we're going to go to an LTC address. We're going to basically move 25 is currently what I have. If I end up getting another execution at 41, I'll move those over as well too. Paste. I got to get my two-factor authentication. All right, let's see how long this transfer goes through. All right, withdrawing 25, LTC. I don't think I'm going to be getting a confirmation through GDAX, but we'll see. And as you guys can see, I basically have nothing right now on Bitfinex. Nothing at all. So we'll see. We'll get some sort of, it won't say completed, but it'll have the date and how much I'm moving over. And I forget how many confirmations you actually need. All right, so we'll give that some time and see if it actually shows up on Bitfinex as unconfirmed. And then I think it's either 10 or 15 confirmations. But I do like how stable the price is between both exchanges. 42.27, 42.52. Those are pretty steady right now. So hopefully, as the price goes up on GDAX for LTC, hopefully that will follow the same suit on Bitfinex, and then we can have a nice little even price where I could probably sell at a even price at 44 bucks that I purchased it, or maybe just a little higher to kind of cover the commission, because you are going to pay commission whether you buy or sell on Bitfinex. There's really no way to avoid that. Oregon Homegrown, welcome, buddy. Yeah, and if you haven't done so already, click on that subscribe button as well as the post notification. But yeah, thank you for letting us know that you're new to this chat, man. Welcome. Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, whoever got the master node for 86 bucks, yeah, that's great. You got it very cheap. But yeah, for $6,000 for a coin that has, like Ryan said, no utility, probably no future outlook, and they haven't really proven anything or built anything that would have some sort of destabilization in the market. Yeah, it's not worth it. That's a lot of money to be spending. What's your safe harbor when there's a downtrend? Excuse me. NTRN, somebody asked me about that, so let me see where they're listed on. Neutron. I have no clue what Neutron is. Up 12%. Yeah, still, yeah, 90% on one exchange. Yeah, until some of these coins get listed on a major exchange, I wouldn't even bother with them. Personally, I'm not going to bother with them. What you decide to do, and that's completely up to you. There is money to be made, off these, crap coins. And sorry if I offended anybody by calling them crap coins. There is money to be made, but personally, I don't feel comfortable trading them. It's a risk that I'm taking, and I think, the risk will outweigh my reward. So that's why I don't really play with them. I don't touch them. But yeah, that's scary though. I mean, 90%, close to 91% on one exchange, majority of the volume. Yeah, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. And I mean, and I do like, EOS and IOTA, as well as possibly SAN, due to them being listed on Bitfinex. And if they can be listed on Bitfinex, I doubt they'll be listed on Coinbase. On some of the major exchanges, especially the ones that accept USD, I think they'll have a better of an outlook, for the future than, going to an exchange like Bittrex or Poloniex, where they're just loading up any and all coins possibly. All right, here we go for the deposit. And I even forgot what time I sent that, but let's see, 11:33 is when it got to Bitfinex. So 6 confirmations is what I need. So currently, right now, it is unconfirmed. So we'll have to wait until that 6th confirmation for it to hit my balance, and then I could, I could sell it, or I could really do whatever I want to do with it, or hold it. So got to wait for those 6 confirmations. So, and this is where it could be an issue with arbitrage. Like I said, the one time it took me 4.5 hours, and it didn't give me the option to increase the gas fee to get it there quicker. Coinbase just does not allow that at all, or GDAX does not allow that for some apparent reason. Because I would have paid it, whatever it would have been, 0.01 or 0.001 LTC, to get it there faster. But when you're arbitraging, this is the risk that you take. That price could definitely fluctuate, against you. It's easy to figure out if you don't let FOMO get you. Yeah, ECS, and I'm assuming you're talking about these pump and dumps. Yeah, if it's in regards to pump and dumps, yeah, it's FOMO that's really driving the price up. Whether it's fake news that's out, people believing in the fake news. I mean, anything you read, take it with a grain of salt, please. And maybe Google the news and see if major news outlets are covering it in the cryptocurrency space. And if they're not, and it happens to be a very shady news outlet, that's a paid, pump and dump type of news article that they're running, yeah, you definitely got to be careful of that and not get caught in that trap. BTC to gold. I don't know, man. I don't trust gold. I don't trust silver. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be in BTC though until this craziness debacle kind of ends and we start to stabilize. Until then, I mean, I think it'll be ETC and LTC, or possibly what I'm looking to do right now is just 3 of the cryptocurrencies that are very cheap on Bitfinex, and this is going to be for a long-term hold, is for me to allocate 33% of what I have into each of those cryptocurrencies. Radu, welcome. And I'm not sure what's going to be listed on Bittrex next week. But if anything's going to be listed on any exchange, I would not get into it the first day. I've looked at some of the cryptocurrencies, and yeah, they go up. I mean, all of them do on the first day, and they come crashing right back down. So it's probably easier to short. If something's being listed on an exchange, and because it's going to have that nice pump, and then it's going to have a crazy dump. So that'd be a perfect opportunity to really short. No, I did not see. I did not see anybody buy 10 BTCs for $3. I'm gonna have to search that. And this is probably a while back. This isn't recently, I'm assuming. Come on, give me the confirmation. Still 0 confirmations. Okay, CHC will be listed on Bittrex. Gotcha. All right, I'll have to definitely follow that and see exactly what it does. But yeah, if you guys take a look at it, I mean, it's going to do the exact same thing every single cryptocurrency has done, and that's they're going to pump it and then they're going to dump it. So basically, anybody that got into ICO is going to be looking to sell, and then that'll definitely drive the price down. And then who knows? Maybe it'll flatline or maybe it'll get a nice uptick from there. All right, I'm trying to scroll up for these messages, so if I end up missing your message, sorry to hear that. Or I'm sorry. Getting wrecked on DGB. Logan, I'm sorry, man. I'll take a look at DGB. Probably Bittrex. I know I've looked at DGB a while back, but yeah, I think everybody's getting wrecked on their holdings. Gemini is greater than Coinbase. I mean, they're both good. They both have issues. I really, I like Gemini because of their funds availability, but I don't like it because of, you can only trade two of the cryptocurrencies. Bob, good afternoon. But yeah, Gemini is great for their funds availability. I mean, I could deposit $1,000 within a matter of minutes. If I do it before 5 p.m. and then after 5 p.m., I could deposit a total of $1,000 and be able to use those funds instantly right away. So if something is dropping, I mean, on Coinbase, if I'm looking to make a transfer, it's going to take 4 days, maybe 8 days. It's taking me 8 days in one time, 8 business days. So with Gemini, you can at least deposit 500 before 5 p.m. Eastern time zone, and then another 500 after 5 p.m. Eastern time zone for a total of $1,000 to be able to utilize on BTC or Ethereum. DGB 481 Satoshis. Wow. I don't know if that's the low that it got to, but we'll see. Yeah, man, this is ever since the 22nd of June. It's just been on a continuous downtrend. And yeah, I mean, it might have broke the trend, the downtrend line, a couple times, but other than that, it's just it's not a pretty chart at all. Let's see if I can draw out a couple different lines here. Yeah, nothing spectacular with this chart, even though, she has broken above. Let me see if I can zoom out of this and do maybe a 1 hour chart, or 1 day actually, not 1 hour. if this will allow me to move. Yeah, the charting on this is just it's horrendous. It's nothing spectacular at all. I can't even get rid of these lines that I need to get rid of. Let me refresh it first. Yeah, this is pretty ugly. I mean, would this even be a perfect opportunity to get in now? I mean, on this, let me see, low 365. What was the low of this candlestick here? 320, 436. Yeah, this could come right back down to that 115 range. I'm sorry, not 115. Under the 200 range, 250-ish, possibly. Yeah, but yeah, this is nothing pretty at all. I mean, even though we've really had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green days, you know, out of a total of, what's this, from June 1st? Yeah, 34 days, you know, only 9 green days. Yeah, that's not good. It's not a good outlook at all. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you are looking to get into this, you know, wait for it to settle down. Wait for it to start to curl. And the only way to really find out is, you know, on a smaller time frame. Actually, not 1 minute, half an hour. Yeah, it's not even going to allow me to look at the whole thing. So, you know, once you kind of see it flatline and just, you know, where the ranges are tighter and tighter and tighter as the time goes on. Right now, the range isn't that tight. You know, if we're looking at this 368 all the way up to 645, you know, that's a big trend. But as the trend gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and it's just really consolidating and moving sideways, you know, and it's doing that for a couple of hours, that would be a good indicator. Okay, you know what? I think this might have somewhat found the bottom. You know, I'll get a little bit of a position in this, maybe 5%, 10% of my capital, just to see what it does. And if it does dip further, then, you know, you have the ability to add more to it. But at this current time, it's not, you know, I would want to see this at least for a good 24 hours, you know, on a very short, tight range, you know, and the range could be, you know, maybe 50 Satoshis. It's just back and forth between 50 Satoshis. You know, that would be a great time to kind of look at this and say, okay, you know what, is this a good time for me to take a position? But yeah, right now though, it's just it's not looking good at all, especially on the 1 day candlestick. I mean, massive pump up to the upside that lasted a couple of days, not just 1 day. You know, which would have probably trapped a lot of people in. You know, expecting that, you know, okay, this isn't a 1 day pump and dump type of scheme. You know, this is actually having a nice gradual move to the upside, especially when it got pushed back down to 435 or 436 from that high of 880 that it hit. You know, I mean, ever since then, it's just been, you know, for what, 2, 4, 6, 8 days. You know, nice, you know, nothing but nice upward trend. So this is definitely wasn't a pump and dump. You know, if I would have seen that, but kind of seeing, you know, where it's been and where it's currently at now, you know, it's like, oh man, you know, they definitely dumped it. They definitely pumped it, you know, for several days, and then they definitely dumped it for, you know, 34 days or so. So I would want to see this thing kind of, you know, level out and just have that nice little curl to the possible upside. And then that would be a possible good indication that, okay, you know what, it's found the bottom. That's a happy medium for it. This is a great opportunity for me to get a little bit of a position in. But yeah, Logan, depending what your entry was, I mean, if anybody got in this, you know, in the 2,500 range and they're still holding, yeah, they're in trouble. But you know, it's not the time to panic and sell. You know, you might as well add to the position, lower that cost average. You know, maybe lower that cost average to, you know, 1,300 satoshis if you got in the 2,500 satoshis by adding more at this bottom price here. And then if it does get back up, you know, I mean, it's going to have a resistance. You know, first resistance will probably be right at 1,299 or 1,300, and then another resistance possibly at 1,500 if it gets right up to that level. And then that's really going to form a cup and hand, possibly form a cup and handle if it does get right back up to that 1,500 Satoshi level. And if she does start to form a nice little candle, you know, that could indicate, okay, you know what? Is it going to have a nice parabolic move from there? Depending on how the handle forms. You know, if the handle forms on a slight downtrend but starts to curl up a little bit, And let me see if I can draw. I can't draw any lines on this, but come on, Bittrex. I cannot, man. Yeah, you're very limited to what you can do. But yeah, like I said, I mean, if this gets up to the 1500 Satoshi range and decides to form the handle at that previous, at that point of 1500 Satoshis, it all depends on how that handle forms. If the handle is not forming properly, where it's not a confirmed cup and handle, then, it's not a good entry to get into it for a nice parabolic move up to that 2600 Satoshi range. But, the way I look at those candlesticks, is that, especially when it's deciding to form that handle, is that it's forming the handle, but then it gradually starts to curl up. If it's just continuously downtrending from that handle in the cup and handle formation, then that's not a good entry. There's a possibility that it's going to find a newer bottom. But once it forms a nice handle on a downtrend and you see it start to curl up, then that might be a nice entry for a nice parabolic move to the upside. But we'll see exactly, how this plays out. And Logan, if you remind me to take a look at this on the next live stream, or when you see me on Slack, I'd be happy to take a look at this for you. All right, let me see if I got my confirmations in for that transfer. Perfect. Transfer is complete. So I do have the 25 LTC. So let's see, from 11:33, I didn't really pay attention to see what time it was completed, but let's just say it got completed, right now at 11:50. 17 minutes or so, 16 minutes, 15 to 17 minutes that it took, which isn't too bad. As long as the price doesn't have a huge difference. So right now the price is pretty steady, 41.84, 41.83. They're about the same. So we'll see if I can get another entry in at 41 bucks, and then if I can, that's great. I'll be able to transfer those other 25 into it, and then that would kind of lower my cost average to 42.50. So right now my average is 44 bucks, which is a little high, but I only bought 25, so a $3 dip is not that significant. It's only 75 bucks. Whereas if I would have bought 100, $3 dip is 300 bucks. So that would be very significant. Looks like another red weekend. Yeah, man, it might be another red month, really. Yeah, red month. You'll hop on you'll hop on F at 150. Oh man, I would love it to get to 150. 150 would be great entry. I'm definitely looking to kind of lower my cost average on Ethereum. Right now, my cost average is whatever that refund was, refund price they calculated was 317.82. I think that was the actual price that they calculated. So, I'm looking to cut that at least in half. So if I can get an entry in at 150, that would basically kind of lower my cost average, up to like 225-ish, 230-ish, and that would be a great average to have. Yeah, I wouldn't mind waiting into the weekend, but I want to be able to take advantage of some of the cryptocurrencies that are on Bitfinex. And considering, I didn't have anything on Bitfinex for a good amount of time, I was basically waiting for that perfect opportunity. And it's not a perfect opportunity for me to get in at 44 bucks, but it's better than not being able to get in and not having funds over on Bittrex. Because, I mean, she is going to get back up to 45 bucks. At 45.50, I would be looking to cut it because really 45.70 is going to be the resistance that she's going to have. Where if she does break out above it, she has to break out above it with a vengeance. If she can't break out above it, that's it's going to be the point where she kind of corrects. So, 45.50, I would be looking to sell it. Especially if I only have my $44 entry, that's a profit of $1.50 per coin, and it's not much of a profit because I'm not really looking for a huge profit on this. I'm just looking to kind of get rid of it to be able to use the funds on IOTA, SAN, and possibly EOS. People were saying 4,000 target on DGB. 4,000. Okay, all right. I'm thinking of $4,000. 4,000 satoshis. Yeah, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. It's not going to do it anytime soon unless it gets pumped. I mean, if it gets pumped, it's easy for it to do. 4,000 satoshis. But yeah, but if it doesn't get pumped, then yeah, it's not going to get to that point anytime soon. Slowly but surely, it could grind up to that level. But yeah, Logan, I mean, that's the best thing. I mean, hold, because I know you go in with a very small position, you're not heavily leveraged, at least from some of the other trades that you've made. So, and I've said it before, if you have a very small position and it dips on you and it dips on you heavily, you can afford to hold that for a longer period of time because you're not, in the sense of US dollar, you're not going to be down too much. But if you have a very sizable position and it does dip on you like it has, then yeah, that might be a little bit area of a concern to be like, man, I'm down, whatever it might have been, 50%, 60% of my capital. I'd rather be down 60% of my capital in a very small position than a very large position. Yeah, I did hear that AntShare was changing their name to Neo. So I know we'll see what that does. Yeah, AJ, you're right. In order to short, you have to be on margin. They will not allow you to short if you're not on margin. So, considering margin is kind of disabled on GDAX, there's nobody shorting on GDAX currently because you have to have margin in order to do it. Rocky Mountain, let's see, you got two nodes in for 1.5 BTCs and up to 5.5 BTCs right now. What do you have a master node in? I'm sure you probably told me, but I kind of forget. And to get up to that 5.5, I'm assuming that's just the weekly earnings or whatever, the daily earnings that you're getting on interest. Let me see, Skylar. There is stay connected. It says website, and for some reason it's not hyperlinked like YouTube, Steemit, Twitter, and Facebook are hyperlinked. I don't know why. So you can either copy and paste it into your browser or type in CryptoTradersRoom.com. And then that should take you to our landing site where you'd have to answer a couple questions and submit it. And then that should send over the information. All right, I don't think LTC wants to drop to that $41 price point. But yeah, but if I sell now, I'm down $2.25, on 25 coins. So, it's not a significant drop. But yeah, if I had 100, that would be very significant. So, we'll see if she gets right back up to that 44, 45, and then yeah, I'll be looking to sell it just so I have USD sitting to be able to take advantage of some of these cheap, coins that have just really come down. I mean, I did not expect IOTA to come down to 18 cents. I forget what the low of that was that it's actually set a couple days ago, but let's see. Probably like got down to 15 cents, maybe 14 cents. IOTA looks like it's found some sort of a bottom because it keeps bouncing off of that. Let me take a look and see what this bottom was. It looks like that it loves that 18 cents. Yeah, it has not dropped below 18 cents. And there's just seems to be a good amount of support. I mean, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 different price points or different time frames or times where it actually, got to that 18 cents or close to that 18 cents, a little above that 18 cents before having a nice little bounce, coming back down, testing that level again, but not breaking through that level. And this isn't bad. I mean, it's been doing that since July 10th. today's July 14th. So for the past 4 days, I think it's found that happy medium bottom that it likes, and it keeps bouncing from it. Now, it's not a huge bounce, but I mean, we're getting from 18 to 23 cents a couple times. So 18 to 23 is not a bad area to play it, considering that's what she likes to do, and that's what she's shown us. Now, you might not be able to catch exactly 18 cents. You probably have to go a little bit higher than that. It looks like 18.123, 18.75, 18.2, 18.06, and 18.4, and then 18.2. Or 18.3. So it definitely has not even broken below that 18 cents, but it seems to like the range from 18.2 to possibly 18.5. So I'll definitely have to play around with this and see exactly what she's going to do, or really monitor it and see what she's going to do in the sense of the order book, and see exactly where buyers and sellers are stacked up, because it's proven to me that she likes that 18 cents, or a little above that 18 cents. And the more that she's getting to that level and maintaining that level and not really crashing through it, that would indicate to me that's a good entry price. But I mean, she could easily crash, when I buy it, easily crash below it. And that's a lot of times what they end up doing, is they'll crash below it once you actually buy it and think that's a good support. But nothing off the wall. I mean, and especially with IOTA, I mean, I'm looking for, over 100,000. So here we go, 100,000. One person that's looking to buy at 17.2. Another 100,000 at 17.5. Let's see if that's the same person that's spreading their order out. Let's see, 16 people for 123,000 at 16 cents. 22 traders or 22 buyers, 156,000 at 15 cents. So it's hard to determine, exactly where the good support is, because we got a good amount of, buyers that are stacking up at a very specific level. 159,000 with 18 buyers at 11 cents. 26 buyers at 113,000 at even 10 cents. And then as we go down further, they will probably increase as people kind of set in lowball offers, and they let them sit there. So here we go, 2.8 million, 28 buyers at 0.00001 cents. So, people are going to have those crazy lowball offers in case that there is a major dip that happens. But yeah, there's a couple price points that it is going to have good support. It's just kind of hard to determine exactly what is the first area of support of the 17.5 going to hold. So far it's holding that 18, 18.2, 18.1, somewhere in that range. But I might have to just put in kind of a lowball offer of maybe 11 cents. If I have USD available on Bitfinex or Bitfinex, to be able to take advantage of that possible dip. That might happen 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I got about 10 minutes on this live stream. I'm going to go ahead and try to answer as many questions as I can. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. And after the live stream ends, if you do have a question, feel free to leave those comments at the bottom of the video, and I do my best to try to get to all the comments as best as I can. And if you're new to this live stream, I definitely want to welcome you again. And if you haven't done so, you can help us out by clicking on that subscribe button, as well as the post notification. And that post notification is just so that YouTube will notify you every time a video is scheduled, or I end up doing one of those spur-of-the-moment type of live streams. But then don't forget to connect with us on Steemit, Twitter, as well as Facebook. And this live stream and all live streams will be simultaneously streamed on Steemit. So if you are watching this on Steemit, thank you so much. We appreciate the support. Jeff, welcome. I think it's actually dangerous to keep it on any exchange that's not going to support the fork. So it's just not Poloniex. Any exchange that's not going to support it, and it's very dangerous to keep it on there. So your best bet is a hardware wallet, a paper wallet, That's the first option if you're looking to still hold. But if you don't care about holding, then your third option would be to sell, either for a different cryptocurrency or for fiat. If I had $100,000, which crypto would I invest? Oh man, I would probably look at, to be honest with you, and if I was looking to actually get all of those, utilize the whole 100,000, I would probably look at, the cryptocurrencies that have, a blockchain, a platform for other coins to kind of, build their projects on. And there are really only a handful of them currently right now. So, of course, it would be, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Omni, BitShares, Counterparty, Ethereum Classic. Even though Ethereum Classic only has one coin on its blockchain, Nubits, Next, Ubique, Waves, Burst. I think I would try to somewhat evenly spread those out amongst those coins, just to see what they would do. Especially with ETC only having, I think it's only I forget what BitPay it might have been. I'm actually completely wrong on that, but they only really have one coin that's built on their, let's just say, ecosystem. As more coins are being built on their network, on their blockchain, I think it'll have a huger impact. So I would look at the coins that are making some sort of positive impact on that some of these other altcoins are coming out on, and that's probably the best thing to do. And if you're not looking to do that, I mean, I would look at the top 10 coins, and not top 10 in the sense that off coin market cap, because you do have Ripple on there as a top 10. It's because if the float is just so high, and that's why they're on there based on market cap. But I would look at the top cryptocurrencies in the sense of not right now for BTC after the debacle or after this craziness ends, but I'll be looking at Ethereum, BTC, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, Dash, Monero, Zcash. Those are really the ones I would be looking at. Rep, I think Rep is down pretty much past couple of days, so just like everything else has. But yeah, $100,000 is a lot of money, and if you could spread it out nicely, you definitely have a great chance of success. ARK has an AMA session. Yeah, I might join that at 4 p.m. if I'm still at the house. I do have a couple things I need to do. We have basically like one of the hugest festivals is in State College. It's called Arts Festival, and it attracts like 150 to 200,000 people in this town. It's a great place to kind of go see live music, and it's all free basically. So later on today, I will be going out and checking that out with the kids. There's a band that I want to check out, and then I don't know. Yeah, if I'm back by then, I will definitely check out their AMA. Dump all non-premium coins. I might have to agree with that. I would definitely stick with the premium coins. Especially when we bottom out. When we bottom out, that's kind of what I'm looking to do, is just kind of stick with the premium coins that are going to have a more of a lasting impact instead of some of these other altcoins that do get pushed up. When BTC decides to make a rally, but then they're going to get pushed right back down. Especially if you're looking to hold long term. TJ, thank you for letting me know that. So that's what I got to do next time, is transfer the coins from GDAX to Coinbase, and then send it from Coinbase to whatever exchange I want to with a higher fee. All right, good to know. That is good to know. Yeah, because the one time taking 4.5 hours to transfer Litecoin was utterly ridiculous. I was like, what is going on? I'm like, that's way too long. But yeah, that's great to know that Coinbase does allow you to add the the gas fee. Yeah, AJ, exactly, man. I'm a trader. I'm not a long-term holder. Currently, right now, I am not a long-term holder. Now, once we do find a bottom, And I think, once once the summer kind of ends, I think that would be a great opportunity for me to kind of look at some of the long-term holds, what positions I'm going to be taking. But, until the summer ends, I don't think I'm going to be holding anything long-term, to be honest with you. Wintertime, yeah, you know what? We're going to have some great momentum, some great upticks, and that might be the time for me to kind of start holding some things long-term. So, if I buy 100 Ethereums, I might hold 75 and then just trade the other 75 to build that account. Especially if I'm able to get in a great entry in. So 42.23 still nothing. So if this thing does get up to 45 bucks, I will be selling the 25 that I have, and then the $25 that I actually make is really only going to cover the commission on the sell side. So I won't be taking too much of a hit, but I will be giving up that profit of $25 towards the commission or the fees that Bitfinex will actually charge me. And then, I'll have to, really pay attention to what, some of these cheap coins are doing on Bitfinex. And these are, like I said, they're going to be, if I'm putting in, $330 or whatever it might be into IOTA or SAN, then, those are going to be long-term holds. And possibly for a push up to, the 90 cents to $1 range. If I can get it at 10 cents, that's a tenfold increase if I can get in at 10 cents. Let's see, chain coin will tank. Yeah, anything that gets pumped up will tank. F chain coin. Everybody has their opinion on it. I don't want to offend anybody, and I try not to offend anybody, by calling some of these coins shit coins or crap coins or trash, So, if I offended you, I do apologize. By any means, I'm not trying to offend anybody at all. Dump and hold, yeah. Dump and hodl. Yeah, some of these cryptocurrencies, they're scary. They really are. And they're there to basically take your money. And I think that's all that they're there to do. Yeah, Ona, and that's a great point that you make. You can't look at these charts, day in, day out for hours and hours and hours. They will play tricks on you. They'll mess with your eyes. And, I can tell that my eyes have gotten bad from years and years of looking at charts. And you just kind of have to, take that time out and kind of walk away from it. But yeah, they definitely can. It's nothing, long-term effect is not good at all staring at these charts. But let's see what, before I get off of this, let's see what BTC is doing. 22.43. So it broke through that 22.50 level that it had set on, what was this? On the 10th, 4 days ago. And it did retest it, 22.50 on the dot. Several times that it hit it. And these are 15-minute candlesticks that we're currently looking at, and that was on the 11th. So retested that level, came right back up, to almost a little over 2,400 bucks basically from that 22.50. So to have a little over $150 in profit, that's not bad at all, depending on how many coins you would buy. But yeah, nothing's going to be long-term hold for me, especially BTC. If I do end up buying it, if it crashes it to 2,000, I would buy it at 2,000, and it gets right back up to 22, 23, I would sell it. I would not be looking to hold this. I'll take the $300 profit per coin. But yeah, it broke through that 22.50 level. So we'll see exactly how she's going to do within the next couple hours to see if she's still going to continue grinding down, or if she'll make a nice comeback. But yeah, she's way below our 200, 150-day moving average. So that's a little scary, for it to be doing that. It needs to grind up and needs to stay way above it. A couple times, as we can see, she would break above our over the 200-day moving average. And what do you know? She comes crashing right back down and breaking below those moving averages. So for a long-term outlook, that's not pretty at all. We definitely want this thing to be above the 200-day moving average. But, with all this uncertainty that's happening, this will not get to that point at all anytime soon until after August 1st, maybe even a week after August 1st. They will disappear when they start dumping. Yeah, dude, that's the name of the game with admins. Once they pump something, they're going to move on to a different pump, to a different coin that they're going to start pumping. Man, it's weird. On my live stream, actually, I thought I got to all the messages, and then all of a sudden, all the messages start popping up out of nowhere. Chris Lee, I don't know what you're saying to get put on timeout, but yeah, definitely be careful what you're saying. Especially if somebody puts you on timeout. The next thing they might do is they might ban you. So I don't want to see anybody get banned. So the admins do a great job of removing messages that shouldn't be there. Especially if you have a different hidden agenda that you're looking to pump something on this live stream. That's not the game that I'm playing, and the admins know that, or my moderators know that. All right, let me see. I got tons of comments that just popped up. So LTC taking a breather before it dumps again. To be honest with you, I hope she gets to the level that I'm looking at. And you guys saw my order book. Let me put it back up. 41 bucks for 25, another 25 at 40, and then 75 at 36.76. I have a feeling that if there is a major dump that does happen, she can get to that 37.50 possibly. So if I'm not going to be in front of a computer, and she hasn't really touched that $41 or just kind of hovering over the $41, I might actually even get rid of that order and just add it on to a 37.50. I think 37.50, if she does get to that point, might be a very good entry price. And that 37.50, let's take a look at it on a better chart. Probably got 37.15. So the 37.50 support that I drew out. Come on, computer, cooperate with me today. So right around in this level here, and that's currently the level that I think, if she does pull back, that's definitely the level that she can pull back to. Let's go ahead and zoom out of this 2-hour chart. So there's that 37.50 range. So that's going to be a very good entry. If she breaks below 40, she has the ability to really come down, because that's really when people might start panicking that she actually broke that $40 price point. So $40 price point is kind of a psychological level right now. As long as she maintains it, it's still good. If she does break through it, she could retest that 37.50, 37.51 level. And I'm trying to draw a line there or a circle, but it will not allow me to. All right, no circle at that 37.50 range. But yeah, that is a very good level that I'm going to be looking at. And that's probably the level that I will probably end up putting everything else that I have into it. And then, of course, switching those funds right over to Bitfinex. Yeah, Oni, I remember your entries, man, and I remember that you had great entries on LTC. And as long as you have great entries on it, and you didn't take profits at the top, but you're still in the profit, that's I wouldn't worry about that at all. And I know you're the type of person that's not going to worry about it. So as long as you're in the profit, you're good. Yeah, I do remember asking you about Chaincoin. So yeah, that's not an issue at all. But no, that's awesome, man. You made 300%. Not a lot of people are able to make 300% on something that's possibly going to be pumped and dumped. So, you put a little bit into it. You didn't put a lot into it, and you made 300% on that little bit. So yeah, dude, that's awesome. Congrats. When to buy Litecoin? I mean, really, you got to determine what your risk tolerance is, Daniel. What you're willing to risk and how much you're willing to risk at a very specific price. But you want to look at the support and resistance, and that's kind of what I did. I played that $44 because I wanted to get an entry in first of all, but definitely it was not a great entry to get in at that $44 level. But what I've seen in the past was that it got close to that 44, dipped below 44, and then it had a nice run up to 46, 47. That's kind of what I expected it to do. It didn't do it. And so that's why I'm kind of moving the funds over to be able to use them for a different cryptocurrency. But I like that 3750. That 3750 seems to be a very good, possible good entry. I don't think we're going to see the $33 anytime soon. I mean, we could see it later on, but I don't think we're going to see that today. I don't think we're going to see below $35, within the next couple of days. Now, if selling does intensify, I mean, she can get to that 35, have a nice little bounce back up, and then come back down and retest the $33 level. But I would be happy with 37.50. That's what I would be happy with. Certified LTC fiend or friend. Yeah, I do like LTC. I mean, there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that I like, so I don't have a one that's a favorite. I try not to take favorites on LTCs. I use them as a trading vehicle and a trading vehicle only. I try not to fall in love with them, to be honest with you. They're not going to love me back, the way I would love them. What's the best site for beginners to start day trading? Now, when you say site, do you mean in the sense of an exchange? If it's an exchange, I mean, there's a couple. I mean, Gemini is one of them, and that's kind of great for a beginner. You only have two cryptocurrencies to kind of trade. There isn't going to be much pump and dump that happens on those two cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum. But they don't really have a great trading platform. That's the only downfall with it. And then you got Coinbase, Bitfinex. But I mean, every exchange is going to have their issues. There's pros and cons with every exchange. So there isn't one exchange out there that's better than all of them. To be honest with you, you just got to take the good with the bad, and be able to deal with the bad when it does happen. There's so many outages that happen on Coinbase or GDAX, and it sucks. I've not seen that many outages that happen on Bitfinex. For some apparent reason. Maybe, when they do have the outages, I'm not on Bitfinex, but I've not seen the issues that Coinbase is having with Bitfinex. But Jonathan, welcome to this live stream. I think this is the first time I'm seeing your name on here. So, keep coming back. That's the best way to kind of learn, little tips and tricks on trading. SYNX, you know what? That's going to be the last thing I look at before I get off. And that's as long as I can get on a good charting system. Let me just kind of get to the messages. I'll take a look at SYNX, and then I am going to end this live stream. Yeah, Oregon. Yeah, I think you're right. For any new trader, I mean, you're going to lose money. It's going to happen. Do not go in this thinking, oh, I'm going to make money as a new trader. You're not going to make money. 99.9999% of new traders will lose their money, and then they have to add more capital to it, or they just don't return to the game at all. So you will lose money. There isn't any new trader out there that said, hey, I've never lost money. I've lost money, and you probably don't know, but some of the guys that have been with me on this live stream since day one, I mean, I took a $15,000 bathroom break. It was a huge loss that I took. So every new trader will lose money. It's until you really figure out the psychology behind the trading, and you kind of stick to a very basic set of rules that you might have set for yourself, and try not to break those rules. And when you break those rules, you're going to lose money. When you don't break those rules is when you're going to make money. But slowly but surely, you can start building a small account to something bigger by just sticking to some basic rules. And that's not to really have any FOMO. Don't feed into the hype of something that's going up. If it's going up so big already, it's not worth it. You're way too late to the game, and you're just basically giving your money to somebody that bought in low that's looking to sell. But yeah, any new trader will have their lunch money eaten, probably more than lunch money, as Oregon Homegrown has stated. Yeah, they'll eat you alive. Oni, thank you so much, man. $10, dude. You are awesome. Buy a sixer as a housewarming gift. Dude, Oni, if you're still on here, I don't know if you are because I'm getting to this message a little late. But yeah, dude, much love to you as well, too, brother. Thank you so much. You've definitely shown your appreciation. This isn't the first time that you've used Snapchat and donated, $5, $10, $2. So, Oni, thank you so much. I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But that's awesome. Yeah, and Skylar, you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't even know how many pump and dump groups are out there. I mean, there are a lot of them. I've gotten numerous emails from different people asking me to join their pump and dump. So, I mean, they're out there, and you're going to receive emails. And just be very cautious of who's sending you an email and asking you to do what. If it's too good to be true, it's too good. I mean, there's so many scams that are out there. Even clicking on links that somebody provides to you, it's a very dangerous thing, and you really got to think outside the box and say, okay, you know what? What could be the adverse effect if I click on this link? How much trouble can this get me into if I click on this link? Instead of clicking on the link, just search for it yourself. I mean, if somebody says, hey, check out this news outlet and click on this link, just go to the news outlet yourself. Just go to CoinDesk yourself, whatever it might be, and read the news that way instead of clicking on a link that somebody sends you. But yeah, there's a lot of scams out there, and there's a lot of scammers out there that are looking to scam people. So I would be very leery. 41.50 for LTC, yeah, hitting 41.38. So we'll see, while I'm on this live stream, if she hits that 41 bucks. And then I'll take a look at SYNX. Somebody asked me to take a look at that. Yeah, Jonathan, just make sure, whatever you're trading with, however amount of money you're trading with, just make sure that that's money you can lose. And if you lose it, it's not the end of the world. So let's just say you start out with $100, hypothetically, don't go all in with that $100. Maybe utilize $25 of it, and buy, one cryptocurrency and see how it does. And then utilize another 25% of it and buy something and see how it does. But, don't buy something into the hype, wait for it to come back to you. As long as you can plot out where the support is, that's where you want to be buying. So you want to plot out at least 3 areas of support and see exactly how she reacts to those areas of support. And then, when you're selling, if you're only holding short term, make sure you start locking in profits at different areas of resistance. 41.25 LTC this weekend. I could easily do that today, actually. Let's see, what is she touching today? 41.18. So 41.17 currently right now. So let's see. I will probably have an execution at 41, and it's only for 25. I'm not purchasing much at all. I really don't believe in this price point currently right now for me to say, you know what, I'm going to take the 6,000 I have and put it all in at the specific price point. I would rather buy in increments and lower my cost average. So, if I get 41, my cost average will be 42.50. So 41.01 on Bitfinex, 41.41, or I'm sorry, 41.43 on GDAX. Yeah, Skylar. I mean, that's the name of the game with the pump and dump. Groups of people talk up a coin to increase the value, and I mean, and if the people are not willing to do their research, before they actually buy it, then yeah, I mean, they're kind of feeding into that whole group, and what that group wants to basically wants to do with with the reason why they're pumping it. Yeah, then they're going to be selling everything. Next stop for LTC, 38 bucks. We'll see. We'll see. That 37.50. Is going to be pretty good. Right now I have it set to 36.76, but that could, I could change that before I actually go out today. But yeah, but I would like to get the, I got about 5,882 bucks. of USD sitting on LTC on GDAX, and I want to get rid of that and just put it into Bitfinex. All right, 41.13. Let's see if she's going to touch it. 41.32. And there are a lot of sellers that are stacked up. So I don't know where I'm at this $41 price point. You know, I could be somewhere in the middle. I could be somewhere towards the end. But, you know, we do have a big support at that $41 price point of 3,121 Litecoin. So that's a huge support. Now, as long as that's not a fake wall, you know, we'll see how she reacts to it when she gets close. You know, let's see maybe, you know, when she hits 41.10, if those orders are going to start falling off, because it's very close to execution, even though it's close to execution right now at 41.22. But as long as they stay on there, I know that that's a very solid support. Yeah, Skylar, I look at the order book. The only thing I don't like about GDAX is that I'm very limited. I think it's like the top 50 that I can look at on the order book. But Bitfinex is great, man. I can look at the whole order book on the buy side and the sell side, and I can kind of see, you know, exactly where people are spread out. But yeah, on GDAX, it kind of sucks. They do limit you. Yeah, Jonathan, I am a day trader. I'm not holding anything long term. Actually, I don't have anything. Actually, yeah, I am holding something long term, but it's not mine. It's my son's. You know, holding Doge. So I bought Doge for him a while back. I can't even remember how long ago it was. So yeah, so he's got, you know, a couple thousand Doge. All right, let me see it. A lot of these comments, and then we'll see if I can get that entry before I get off this live stream. So I'm going to have this live stream just going a little longer to see if I can get that entry, and then if I do, I'll be able to basically move it right over to Bitfinex. Yeah, Chris, I'll check out Superman. I don't know if I'll have time today to do it, but I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, and Jonathan, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, holding long term, you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. As long as you can get a good entry, you know, holding long term is, I mean, a lot of traders are being, well, not traders, but investors are being rewarded nicely by holding long term. And yes, there is a lot of potential in day trading. There's also a lot of, you know, you can also lose a lot of money day trading. So, you know, sometimes the buy and hold approach can definitely work out to your advantage. And I've done that before. I mean, I bought something at a very cheap price and it ran up nicely and I still held it. And it was still running up and running up. But, you know, once it decided to turn against me, that's when I decided, you know what, let me start cutting my, let me start minimizing, you know, the amount of profit that I'm given. Masternode coins are less likely to be dumped. Yeah, because, you know, you're absolutely right, Chris. They are actually taking, you know, coins out of the trading circulation. So anytime, you know, there's tons of Masternode holders and they're locking up those coins, however many amount of coins that might be, you know, that's really reducing the float of available coins to be traded. So, you know, the price does end up going up. Yeah, oversold territory, you know, and I've talked about RSI. I haven't looked at RSI in a while, but, you know, when RSI starts to dip, you know, below 30, you know, that's a good time to start accumulating, not going all in, but accumulating. And that kind of indicates to you that it is oversold territory. And then once it gets up above 70, 75, possibly 80 on the RSI, that indicates that, you know, you are in overbought territory. And then, you know, you definitely want to start locking in those profits. But yeah, don't overtrade. Exactly, and I've said that before. Yeah, overtrading will definitely kill your profits, as well as you know, you can end up paying commission. All right, 41.11. So let's see if she can get to that 41 bucks level. But yeah, buyers are still there at 41 cents. I mean, 41 cents, 41 bucks. I wish LTC was 41 cents. Knowing what we know now, Come on, don't freeze up on me right now. All right, so it went down from 3,500 to 3,000, but 3,000 is still a good amount. BTC getting ready to hit 2,200, basically 2,205 is a low, and Ethereum is not looking good either. 185, so $10 from its low that it had set of 175, and I mean these are lows that we haven't seen in a very long time, especially on Ethereum. So price is showing me 42.38, but that is not correct. So on the chart, I have 42.38. At the top, I have 41.27, 41.11. So I got three different price points. So what to believe. So that's why I use Crypto Watch, and I'll take a look at exactly what it's going for. Because Crypto Watch is going to be a little more accurate than actual Coinbase or GDAX. So 41.13 is what we have. Yeah, I can't even see what these charts are doing. I mean, everything's kind of frozen, even the order book, the trade history. So last execution I see is 41.13. Okay, order book is moving, 41.11, and the candlesticks have caught up. Buy when all is red and hold. Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to be buying when there's panic selling. When panic sellers start to panic, that's the best buying opportunity. My technical analysis on Ethereum, it's not looking good, buddy. It's not looking good at all. I mean, we could easily retest the 150 level. And I think, if we end up getting to 100 and break through the $100 level, I mean, that's scary. I mean, we were only at 45 bucks not long ago, before really we had a nice, crazy run up to 400 and, 420 bucks. So, yeah, if we break through 100, yeah, it's scary times. It's scary times. And I think the ICO craze has kind of died down, where people are not buying Ethereums right now to be able to put into ICOs. Where a while back, I mean, there were ICOs coming out left and right. And that's really what caused the price to really skyrocket, to 420 bucks, over 400 bucks. It's basically people buying at these exchanges, not like myself, I mean, I'm buying and selling on the same exchange, or I'm buying and selling, arbitraging it to a different exchange. Whereas, people were basically buying on, let's just say Coinbase, or buying on Bitfinex, and then what they would do is basically they would transfer those for those ICOs, so they weren't buying and selling, causing a nice volatility to the downside. If more buying is happening because people will want to go ahead and take the funds and use them for an ICO, that's just going to cause nothing but a nice incline, a nice trend to the upside. Same thing with arbitraging too. If majority of the buying is happening on Bitfinex and people are actually looking to arbitrage it to GDAX, then, the price on GDAX will go down a little bit because there's more selling that happens versus Bitfinex. All right, 41.39, so I don't think it's going to hit my level before I actually got to get off this live stream. But I'm going to try to get to just a couple of the comments real quick, and then I do have to end this. Yeah, I kind of wanted to wait it out just a little bit to see, if she was going to hit my $41 price entry, but I think at this current time, she's not going to hit it. She could hit it in a couple minutes, but not right now, though. And that support is still there. I mean, it's still a good support at that $41 price level. I mean, 3,000 at 41 bucks, that's pretty good, strong support, as long as none of it falls off, as long as it's not a fake wall. Skylar, not a problem, man. Appreciate you joining. Thank you so much. Anonymous guru, man, that happens to everybody. And you're basically saying, every time you hear about a coin, you see it's already skyrocketed, then you decide not to buy because it's already spiked, then it goes up 1,000%. Dude, that's happened to me many times. I'll look at something, I'm like, oh, I should take a position. No, I shouldn't because it's up so high, and then it ends up going up. And I'm like, man, I should have taken a position. It happens again with a different coin. It starts to go up. I'm like, oh, you know what? I remember what happened to me last time. I didn't take a position and it went up. You know what? Let me get in now. And I get in and it dips down. It'll happen, man. It'll happen. When you don't get into something, it'll go up. And when you finally get into something, it'll go down. It happens to every trader. LTC is one of the best for swing trading. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if and I've bought LTC and held onto it for a couple of days, and bought it at 40 and sold it at 49. Bought it at 40 and 41 and sold it at 43 and 47. So, but yeah, swing trading is not bad at all, especially with these popular cryptocurrencies. Never FOMO, exactly. FOMO is the biggest mistake with new traders. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, just that fear of missing out. They see a lot of coins going up and they see people hyping it, and they believe the hype. Never believe the hype. Yeah, and you know what, Skylar, man, you're absolutely right. If Wells exit, I mean, they are the ones that are really controlling this market. And if you guys don't know that they are the ones controlling this market, you should not be trading at all. But yeah, Wells control this market. Big money, smart money controls this market. And it's dumb money that they really, and I hate to say dumb money, but that's basically what new traders are described as. It's dumb money because they're getting in, without really looking at the support and resistance and finding a great entry. They're just throwing their money into a trade as the whales are looking to get out. And whales make money, new traders lose money. That's the name of the game. It sucks, but it is. Yes, Ether had the best run in 2017 by hands down. I mean, when I looked at it in December, $10. And actually, no, it was $7. And I was like, oh, I'll wait for it to get to 6. I'll buy it at 6. Got to 8. I was like, oh, I'll wait for it to get down to 7, and I'll buy it at 7. It didn't get down to 7. It went up to 9. It went up to 10, and never got into it until actually $16. And then I was buying it and selling it at all different price points. But yeah, at one point I had like over 400 Ethereums at a very cheap price of like $23, I think it was. Yeah, I did the math and I was like, man, if I would have held on to it. But I mean, who knew that Ethereum was going to have that type of run? From, let's just say, even $20 to $420. I mean, nobody knew that. Yeah, and I mean that coin did a lot. Ethereum did a lot for a lot of people that were holding, that believed in what they were doing. But yeah, just having so many ICOs coming out based on Ethereum and people buying Ethereum just so they can get into these ICOs. Yeah, it's a little scary because I mean whoever's developing the coins are getting payments in ICOs. I mean they're getting payments in Ethereum for these ICOs. So eventually what are they going to do? They have to dump their Ethereum for fiat to be able to utilize the fiat to help develop whatever technology it is that they're building. So yeah, when they start dumping, it'll cause a massive price crash, and I'm sure they have already started dumping any of the ICOs that were basically taking payments in Ethereum. Yep, Chris, absolutely right, man. $7 in December 2016. That's what I saw it at, and I was like, should I get in? Should I not? I was like, no, I won't. And I was like, I'm more comfortable with maybe 6 because I think the low that it touched was like $5.50 something cents. But yeah, I was waiting for 6. It never happened. William's asking me, do I have TPs for every trade, or do you manually close orders? I'm trying to understand that TP, what that stands for. It could be just over my head. But I usually have sell orders in different increments. So let's just say, I decide to keep Litecoin, and I bought Litecoin, let's just say at $40. I have different increments that I'm selling, and that's exactly what I did last time. I bought 103 at 40 bucks. I sold at 20 at 43.50. I put another order in to sell at 45. Another order in to sell at 47. So once I do get an entry and I'm looking to exit out, I do end up putting those orders in, especially if I'm not going to be in front of a computer watching the price action, because late at night it could have a nice spike, and then by the time I wake up, it could have a nice correction. At least I got out on that nice spike. But yeah, I tend to put in sell orders, after an entry. Crypto, welcome, buddy. All right, let me see if I can get to a couple more comments, and then it doesn't look like I'll be getting an entry in, unfortunately, but I did promise that I would take a look at SANX. LTC will hit 33.35. Possibility. Anything's possible with cryptocurrency. ECS said it a while back. When he said, and this was at she was at like 42 or 44 bucks. Before my entry at $40. But yeah, he's like, ETC, or I'm sorry, LTC could hit 33, and she hit 33.38. I mean, he called that. He was on point. Oh man, this thing's had a nice run. Yeah, I mean, could this be a pump? I mean, is there any news out on SYNX? And if there's no news, it's a pump, but this pump is lasting a lot longer than they normally last. Yes, I mean, this has been going on ever since basically 2 a.m. and hasn't really had a major correction yet. I mean, it went up nicely, consolidated, had a nice push up, pulled back down a little bit, and it's in some sort of a consolidation, not a true consolidation, before having a nice run up again. Chaincoin is starting to crash. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it if SYNX has a crash as well too. Yeah, I would not be looking at getting in this. I mean, it's too late for me to get in. Going from 7 cents, the high of 83 cents, currently at 78 cents. I mean, the volume is great. 3,206 BTCs, but yeah, this is too high for me. Let's look at the daily. What goes up so high only comes down just as fast. So August 24th, 2016 was when it was listed, and from there on, it just downtrended. Nice little push up, from 800 to 1400. You really can't see it on this type of time frame, but it did go up from 286 to 1400, possibly 1500. But yeah, it's a nice candlestick, but I don't know if it's going to sustain this type of movement. Let's see if there's any announcements. But yeah, you should definitely be looking at the news if there is any news on the 14th. I mean, this is their roadmap. That's not what I want to see. I want to see if there's any news that came out. And today's the 14th. So new beta V1.0, 1.0.1.7 release. I mean, it could have something to do with that. So that is some sort of news that's out. I don't know what the release is all about. But yeah, at least there's news on it as to why it's up. So that is the reason why it's up. All right, did I get an entry in at 41? No, 41.10. Yeah, definitely too late to chase SYNX. Definitely too late. LTC won't hit 30. You know, I've said it before in the previous video that, you know, she is going to touch a $20 handle. So that's going to be a little under 30 bucks. Not anytime soon, but I have a feeling that she will touch that that 30, you know, or $29.99 to, you know, $20.01. But yeah, I don't think she's going to touch 30 within the next couple of days. You know, 35 possibly. You know, 33 to 35, like Potter's once said. That's more realistic. It's more feasible, I think, instead of hitting an even number of 30. But I mean, it all depends. I mean, is there a big well that's sitting there and they're like, you know what, I bought this thing in the $4, $5. You know what? I'm going to be happy with 30 and sell everything I have here and cause another crash. It's a possibility. Anonymous Guru, man, not a problem. Not a problem at all. I forget what I said, but, you know, I'm glad you're not the only one. Yeah. All right, 4102. Did she actually touch 41? I don't know if GDAX is accurate. 4102. All right, 41, it did touch. All right, so let's see how she reacts to it. Now, my price has not been executed yet because of, you know, I'm not first in, first out. So 41 is being executed. And it's showing 41.50 on the candlesticks, but that's not the actual price. So the candlesticks can be a little misleading. $41 on the dot. So, I mean, she has a good amount of support at that $41 price level. So she might just hover in that range just for a little bit, unless, you know, selling intensifies and then it completely wipes out, you know, everything that's on the $41 price point level. But let's see if I can get, there we go. So I got my execution. I don't know why this shows it got filled at 50. I did not fill 50. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel the 40 and see if it actually dips below 40 because it's at 40.78. So I got the 25 filled, which is great. So that brings my average down to 42.50. Instead of being stuck at that $44 price point. So all of those got absorbed. I mean, those 3,000 that were on the buy side completely got absorbed. So 40.50, 40.51. So now I'm looking for a bottom entry to kind of try to get as low as I can to that $40 price point on an entry. So right now, you know, I went from $44, you know, basically average price to $42.50. Now I'm looking to possibly lower that $42.50 down to possibly 41 bucks, or, you know, $41.25 or $40.75. Try to get as close as I can to that 40 bucks. $40.35. So she's still cracking. She is still cracking down. I thought that $41, you know, price point would hold it up and hold it up nicely, but it only held it up for a very short period of time. So this is a 2-hour candlestick. So let's get out of this 2 hours, 5 minutes. And I know I said I was going to get off, but you know what? Now that I have, you know, a couple entries and I'm looking to get in a little more to see if this is going to break below 30 or below 40, basically. I'm going to stay on this live stream just a little longer. But I'm basically going to have to zoom into the 1 minute candlestick to see if we're going to get some sort of a turnaround. So our moving averages, what do I have? 5 and 15 days, 5 and 10 day moving average. So the orange is the 5 days moving average, and then the blue or light blue is the 10-day moving average. So we're going to see if she actually curves up and starts to form some sort of bottom where she's going to curl up above our 10-day moving average. She definitely won't get above our 200, 150-day moving average. I mean, she'd have to get up to $41.44 in order for it to really touch our 50-day moving average, as well as get up to 41.80, 41.90-ish for the 100-day moving average, and then get up to $42.30-ish, 30 cents to hit our 200-day moving average. So I doubt she's going to hit those moving averages, but she could definitely hit the 10-day moving average. Yeah, I like that 37 range, and that's why I have a 36. What do I have? 36 and change, 36.76, I think, as a bottom entry. 36.76. So I got an entry at 44 for 25, an entry at 41 at for 25. So kind of lowers my average to 42.50-ish. So I will be looking to actually withdraw those 25 as well too. LTC wallet. It should be the same wallet. Perfect. And we're going to transfer the 25. My two-factor authentication. All right, so that was at 12:55. So let's see exactly how long that's going to take from 12:55 to be able to get those transfers right over to Bitfinex. So 12:55. So this shouldn't really take, no more than past 110. 30-minute RSI has bottomed out. And yeah, the one thing about, I like Bitfinex because I can look at the RSI, but on Coinbase or GDAX, cannot look at RSI at all. $42.50 short-term resistance on the downside. Say RSI currently at 24.18. So anything under 30 is basically considered oversold. And then once she really taps out to 75 to 80-ish, it's overbought. So yeah, she is getting to that bottom. And I've seen sometimes RSI, really touch 10. I haven't seen it touch below 10 though. So 45 would be a very good selling point for me, considering a couple times, she broke out above it just a little bit, came right back down. Tried to break out above it a little bit, came right back down. Before she finally, settled at 45.38 or 45.30-ish and broke down to $40. So, if she does have a nice little run, it could run up to that $45 before really pulling back down a little bit. All right, guys, I hate to cut this short. I might do another live stream later on today if time permits. So if you haven't clicked on that post notification, definitely click on that post notification because I will be looking to take some entries into SAN, into IOTA, possibly EOS. EOS is getting to $1.48. I wouldn't mind having a very small position, nothing a lot, considering I'm going into 3 cryptocurrencies, but to kind of evenly spread out the funds that I have into those 3 and see exactly what they would do for, a hold for no more than 30 days, basically, to see that, if we do have a nice turnaround, my money is actually going to go a long way and have a better chance of 100% profit on these coins that are listed for 15 cents, 10 cents, whatever it might be that they get down to, instead of putting it into Litecoin and hoping that Litecoin gets to $80. So I don't think Litecoin is going to get to $80 anytime soon. For me to have somewhat of 100% profit, I think IOTA has a chance of getting up to $30. I'm sorry, 30 cents from 1750 to have close to that 100% return. And same thing with SAN as well too. And then Ripple, I don't know. Ripple's just been flatlining unless she gets to 10 cents. That's when I would be kind of looking into taking a position into it. But right now it's SAN, IOTA, and EOS. It all depends on EOS on how low she gets. $1, under $1 would be very, very tempting for me. But if she doesn't get to $1, then it's mainly going to be IOTA and SAN for me to put in, at least $500 into each of those and see what they would do on a longer 30-day time frame period for a hold, instead of day trading it and taking a penny or two here and there. But I want to thank everybody for joining this live stream. Like I said, there is a possibility I might come on later if there's drastic changes that happen within the market, especially if we drop to $37, $36 on Litecoin, and I'm in front of a computer. I will get the live stream going, for an hour or two, just to kind of talk about the movement, and then me buying more and arbitraging it, and hopefully selling a little bit at a very minimal loss, because really right now, I would be selling at a loss, considering the price is $40.50 and my average is $42.50. I would be taking a $2 hit on 50 coins. It's a $100 hit. It's not a lot, but still a hit that I would be taking. So I want to try to minimize that as best as I can, lower my cost average, and then be able to sell at a very minimal loss instead of sell at a $50 loss instead of selling at a $100 loss, and then utilizing the funds if IOTA and SAN or EOS decides to drop. But thank you guys so much for joining. I do appreciate it. Until next time, this is CryptoTrader. Thank you for joining, and enjoy your weekend. And please be safe out there, especially with your trades and what's going to be happening with Ethereum. I'm sorry, with Bitcoin and Ethereum too. There's a lot of uncertainties right now. So you definitely got to protect your profits. And this is the time to be adding on to your position, not the time to be selling. So lower those cost averages. That's the best thing to do. But thank you so much for joining, and everybody that's new to this live stream, thank you. It's great to see those names. It's great to see you guys chatting away, because I know a lot of people will be on this live stream, but they won't chat at all. So get your name out there. Say what's up. A lot of people have some great information to share, and the only way to share those information is for you to start chatting and asking questions. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. Brandon, Oregon, Greek Me Good, Potter, Dylan, if you're still on here, ECS, Logan, all my moderators, Daniel, Anonymous Guru, thank you so much for joining. AJ, Crypto Never Sleeps. I love that name, by the way, man. Crypto Never Sleeps. You're absolutely right. But yeah, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. Until next time, be good, behave. That's all I can say, I guess, on the cryptocurrency world. All right, take care, guys. Thank you. All right, Anna, you ready?